Hey guys, it's Junior. Welcome back to my channel here at Horsepower Warehouse. The day has finally come. Our 1966 Nassau blue convertible is ready to go down onto the chassis. I have everything wrapped up, completely prepared so that we can take this body, marry it to that chassis. My paint guy is absolutely just rearing. He is ready for this car. You can see I have all of the body mounts. Hey Joshua, you can take this, bud. We're trying to do a YouTube video here, man. We have all the body mounts laid out here. You can see we have radiator support, mount number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If we go look on the chassis here, you can see where everything kind of will correspond to. The radiator support is this first one, mount number 1, mount number 2, mount number 3, and mount number 4. I'm just kind of going to let you guys look at the differences in all of these mounts here. You can notice right away number 3 and 4 are rubber insulated. You'll notice the radiator mount number 1 and 2 are all solid mounts. Number 1 actually has this really thick billet aluminum insulator, I guess is what I'll call it, whereas 3 and 4 are actually rubber insulated. If you look at the orientation of the mounts, you can tell that you want these squares to have the tips facing up, kind of how I have it oriented here, especially on the number 1 and number 2 mounts. And then if you look at the number 4 mount, you actually have it flipped around the other way, and number 3 is with the tips up. So you want to be careful about orientation about this as much as you want to be careful about the number of shims. Now you'll notice that it says square shims as required here in the instructions. They also give you torque. Residual torque after roll test is to be 25 foot-pounds minimum. You want to roll it back and forth as you're doing this process. It's really critical that you do this correctly. The body shims, these actual shims that go in between the mounts, are for all intensive purposes what sets the door gap. You can see how on the lift, this car obviously doesn't have a chassis underneath it. The top is huge compared to the bottom. It's really small, and the front way too tight. When we set this body down, my job here is to make sure that all of the body mounts are in their happy neutral position, so that way I'm not stressing the body, but I also want my door gaps to be good enough that I can do all of the final adjustments in the hinges, but you want it to be in its happy spot in terms of the body when you're actually setting these shims. I'm not going to be going through the entire process of how I'm going to accomplish this task today, because it's going to take me probably a few hours of just taking my time and carefully setting, adjusting, removing and adding shims as I go. This is a process where I really like to take my time, not be in a hurry, not be into anything else, and just get this done. Because this is really a critical part in the frame-off restoration, is making sure that your shims are correct on your body mounts. While I have you guys here, let me show you what we've got going on in the rest of the shop. 63 convertible here. You can see the red interior is just about done. I ordered all new dash bulbs because why not? If I'm going to have the car this far apart, I'm just going to replace a lot of the consumables just to make sure that we don't run into issues later on. You can see our 65 Jeep FJ6 mail truck. The interior is coming out really nice. We have this gray industrial epoxy coating that we're using. It's coming out really, really fantastic. You can see in the back here, look at this guy just working away on the parts. Say hello, Zach.
Hello.
Everyone always questions why I don't show the other guys here on the channel, so I am proud of my guys. As camera shy as they may be, check out this guy right here, just killing it. Doing steering wheel restorations, small parts restorations. Yeah, this guy is the guy that does all the little stuff that makes our cars look so great. So thumbs up to that guy. I'm happy to have him here. Chassis and all of these parts are going to powder coat for this guy, our 65. So just recap, this one is a 66. It's a non-frame off restoration, but we're doing just a lot of maintenance stuff to it. 65, complete frame off restoration. So you guys don't get confused, because I got like two small block black convertibles here, and the 65 and 66 model years share a lot of similarities, so don't confuse those two cars. This one is waiting to actually have the engine come back from Steve. We upgraded the head gaskets to a multi-layer MLS head gasket set, because that is a solid lifter, high horsepower Big Daddy car, and we want to use the most modern technology available to us in terms of head gaskets, so that way when we sell this car, someone can, I know they're not going to beat the snot out of it, because I mean, look at the car, it's absolutely fantastic, but we want to build it so they can, if that makes sense to you guys. If a better technology is available, especially with something like a head gasket, we'll go ahead and upgrade the car. We'll go against the NCRS standards. You can see our 67 coupe, another 427 car. Chassis is fully powder coated. You can see we have the part slot, or at least a partial of the part slot underneath the car. Everything that we've had powder coated, that is getting ready for all the bushings. And I have something like a $3,800 order of stuff that I placed just in parts to get this as a roller to this. And that's not including any of the big parts. That's just the consumables and the little stuff. It adds up to about $4,000 in parts to get it from that to that. But that's where I'm at with that one. You can see our Myers-Manx is waiting to get into paint. We are going to be painting this one after we get our Nassau blue car painted, and then we have a 63 convertible you can see poking around the corner behind that 65 silver car. That is also going to get painted first before the Myers-Manx does. More than likely, this is going to get a orange, really big flake metallic paint job, almost like a bass boat style, huge flakes, holographic, the paint job. I'm really excited about this. My race car, speaking of excitement, can I just talk with you guys about a boy and a dream to go fast? And I sure hope I get there. But can't talk about that dream too much here, because this is a Corvette-based channel. At this point, Nomad is coming together. It's kind of on the back burner. We're still assembling parts. We've got a lot of the stuff that we need stashed away, but before I dive into this, I want to have enough that I can get it to at least the 90% mark. You can see we have the rear end completely disassembled on our resto mod. We're doing some updates from Art Morrison to the 4-link rear end that we got. They actually have released a revised bracketry kit for the 4-link, so we're going to go ahead and use their updated geometry kit for this car, just so it is to 2022 spec. You can see this car is actually sold, 65 coupe. We are doing the thank God, the classic auto wear kit. I have been continuously blowing these people up to try to get my kit. I understand everyone right now is backlogged, but in terms of getting parts, this used to be a 3 or 4 day thing, and I would see it at my doorstep. This was over a month on this kit. Speaking of this kit, 65 has the alternator on this side, which puts the compressor on that side, meaning that I have to run lines across the engine to meet our evaporator. So you've got the condenser in the front, the evaporator in the heater box there, and the compressor all the way over there. I am not content with how Classic Auto Air wants me to do this. They want me to put these lines over here. We kind of mocked everything up just to humor them with the 65 kit. I'm not content with this, so we're going to change a couple things around from how a Classic Auto Air kit is traditionally installed. I'm going to take the lines around the front. That way we don't have ugly lines going all through the engine bay. I think you guys are really going to be impressed with my installation of this kit versus what you're going to traditionally see on every other shop available. But yeah, I mean, that's a quick update. Oh, by the way, let's take a look at this newest edition that my son is working on. How's them spark plugs coming? I did. Dual 4s. Really, really classy color combination too. So we get the C1s every now and then, guys. We're not all C2s. I know we've got a lot of them, but What do you guys think? Comment down below. What do you think of this color combination? I really like the classiness of that. 427 Mosport green convertible. This car should be ready for sale at this point. Yeah, I believe it is. It's looking pretty. So if any of you guys are looking for a big block convertible to sport around in, this thing is awesome. It's a top flight car already. I didn't do the restoration on this, but it's already achieved the top flight awards. So, I mean, how do you argue with that? Good job to the builder. But thank you guys so much for joining me. If you haven't already liked and subscribed, please consider doing so. If there's anything that in particular you want me to focus on, I'm happy to oblige and show you guys what we've got going on. But today I just wanted to give you a quick update on this 66 Nassau car, mainly because this thing is going off the paint. If you guys saw this car previously, this is actually the one that was filled with foam. There is no foam to speak of currently, but nonetheless, the car is going to come out absolutely fantastic. So I'm happy to show it now before it goes to paint, and wait till you guys see what's coming when it gets back from paint. It's going to be, I mean, I love the before and after, and I think you guys will too. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, take care.